Hello, New Hampshire taxpayers. Have you had enough? I know I have. You know, I did a little calculation looking at the number of speakers that we have here tonight, the amount of time we have, and I figure I have about 12 seconds to talk to you. I might go a little over, all right? I want to tell you about my adoptive hometown, the city of Franklin, New Hampshire, the birthplace of Daniel Webster, and the birthplace of the mighty Merrimack River, and the birthplace of the state's first property tax cap. It is a wonderful city. It is filled with great people. It's a small community, about the size of Wasilla, Alaska, actually. And we have a lot to offer people, however. 3 rivers, a beautiful lake, an opera house with fantastic cultural events. Yeah, the VFW, yeah, I'm going to be speaking there on Friday night. That's right. We have a golf course and a hospital within our city limits, and we have something that Manchester doesn't have, a tax cap. We have a property tax cap. But it was not always so. When I moved to Franklin, New Hampshire about 20 years ago from this area, we had the 6th worst tax rate in the state of New Hampshire. And the city government, by the way, was destitute. It had no money. No money, and we had the highest, almost the highest rate in the state. Everyone should take a lesson from Franklin's history. High tax rates do not bring high revenue. Low tax rates bring economic vitality, and the revenue follows. I ask you, my friends, I ask you, why can government, at any level, local, state, or national, why can government raise its price faster than everything else in the general economy? The answer is, because we let them. By 1989, the people of Franklin had endured 13 years of tax hikes that averaged 8.5% per year. All right? They endured the spending spree of the reigning city council, who emptied the city budget every year so that nothing would be left for surplus. But the people of Franklin, the good people of Franklin, would not endure the 1989 34% tax increase. And in November of 1989, they elected a new mayor, a new city council, and they wrote into their city charter a cap on property taxes. And that tax cap still governs the actions of our city council 20 years later. To be sure, there was great concern and anxiety among some people about allowing small tax increases every year instead of great big tax increases every year. But the people approved the tax cap by the razor-thin margin of 65% to 35%. Each time that the tax cap has been on the ballot in my city, it has become more popular. More people are voting for it. In 2002, my best friend Tony Junta was exercising his great leadership as the mayor of Franklin, and the voters adopted the latest iteration of the Franklin tax cap with 80% of the vote. That's right. As many of you know, Franklin is no longer the only community in the state with a property tax cap. Nashua, Derry, Laconia, and Dover have followed suit. And I'm not forgetting Rochester. A notable example is the great city of Rochester in 2008. All right, I see my friends here from Rochester, where voters gave Barack Obama 55% of the vote. The same vote, I know, I didn't do it. The same voters, the same population of voters endorsed the Rochester tax cap with 71% of the vote. Good job, Rochester. So we fast forward now to today. We find that eternal vigilance is required even in the tax cap's birthplace of Franklin. For example, my city will experience an increase in solid waste disposal costs next year amounting to about $50,000. The first choice that we have presented to us to solve this, let's spend $850,000. That'll fix the $50,000 problem. I don't know how that debate will go, but I can tell you this much. If, as mayor, I'm presented with a budget that violates my citizens' tax cap, it will meet with a swift and sure veto. That is not a promise from me. It is a fact. Awesome. Yes. Also, in recent days, the city of Concord, whose representatives have repeatedly assured me that they spend much less than any tax cap would ever allow, they've decided that they would prefer not to allow their citizens to even vote on a tax cap. And the Merrimack County Superior Court agrees with them. The court and the city of Concord say that a referendum by the people is unconstitutional. What? Can you even imagine the tortured logic that you would have to go through to arrive at that conclusion? I can't tell you how this challenge to the tax cap will end, but I can tell you that it is of the utmost importance that we expend every ounce of energy we have to win that contest. And in closing, I might be able to turn this page. The tax cap is based upon the simple principle that your government should not take your money any faster than you can earn it. That is just common sense. And we have to defend the right of the people to make that statement on any election day that they choose. Thank you very much.